Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another interesting knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the BMK Designs Ether. I had never heard of BMK Designs. This was a knife that Sergio of Kumu, actually, if I remember correctly, he said you should check this out. It's pretty cool. And it is. It's taken me a long time to take a look at it, so I'm sorry about that. But I am going to take a look at it today and give you guys my thoughts. I want to give you guys their Instagram here real quick, because that's the way that they sell their designs, is on Instagram here. So BMK_designs27 is where you guys can go to check this out. They have a new model incoming, and I guess you guys can DM them about that if you want to. This is OEM'd by Bestech is what the notes say there, so that's pretty cool. And it does actually line up with a lot of my personal preferences when it comes to pocket knives. So thank you so much to BMK for loaning this knife for review. I assume you want it back, so I'll send it back to you after I'm done. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and get a measurement here real quick. Overall length is coming in just shy of 8, about 7.85. Yeah. Blade length coming in at, I'm going to measure that through about 3.45, and your cutting edge about 3 1/4. Let's do some size comparisons. Any custom scales in this section can be found down in the description under Original, Goat, and Others. So up against my full-size Excalibur and my compact Excalibur, let's say it's kind of like right in between. Can you tell why I like this knife? Can you tell why I said that this knife is very preferential for me? It shares many of the same elements and features as Excalibur without being anywhere near the same knife. It's very clearly a different knife. But there are preferential ergonomic zones, and obviously there is a preferential spot for the opening slot. These are things that I really, really like. Not everybody loves it, but I really like it. So yeah, this knife immediately appealed to me, and I can understand why Sergio said you should check this out. Let's put it up against the Spyderco PM2 and the Spyderco Para 3. Once again, kind of in between. Right, it's a nice, it's kind of a sweet spot there. And then finally up against the Benchmade Griptilian, or in this case the Ritter Hogue and the Hogue Deca. How's the action on this knife? When it comes to Bestech makes a good pocket knife. They are oddly, widely varying when it comes to like pivot action. I think a lot of it's like tightness. This knife is absurdly controlled smooth. So my favorite type of action is not like guillotine drop shut. The Norseman is a great example. The Grimsmo Norseman is a very well-made knife. That thing closes way too fast for me. I also don't like tight or gritty action on the other end of the spectrum. This is smooth and extremely controlled. Can we see the extra weight, I think, out here with the harpoon swedge? Oh, it is delightful. Being able to turn and let it fall with no extra effort, but having it controlled. There's just enough friction that it's slow. You can get your fingers out of the way. Love that. Front flipper works beautifully. My preference is, of course, the opening slot. Pretty easy to deploy with the thumb. It is zero effort to deploy with the finger. And because he has extended this slot all the way down here and made it accessible, you get to reverse flick it wherever you feel like reverse flicking it, right? You want to use your third finger or whatever. Is this a pinky flip knife? Hold on. It is. I can pinky flip it. Did we catch that? Let me line the pinky back up here. So the pinky is what's engaged. Easy! I think maybe 6 times on this channel I've been able to do that. Action's great. Action's wonderful. Detent is wonderful. Access to the lock bar is wonderful. You can see that right there. Plenty of room to get in there. It's great. No complaints with the action. Thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. Little thicker, but it's contoured. So I'm going to give it a pass. That's more comfortable anyway. Carry profile thickness, length and height up against the PM2 and Para 3. It actually doesn't take up much more room in the pocket than the Para 3 lengthwise. Height-wise, nowhere near as tall as either. This is it's a beefy boy. Titanium, your choice of either like a diagonal texturing or just plain. And then we have a MagnaCut blade. To my knowledge, Bestech claims 62 to 63 on a lot of their MagnaCut. We also have weight reduction. Yes, milling for weight reduction. I'm going to guess this is a mid 4. Low 4, 4.2. Not bad, not bad. 3.45 inches of blade, 4.2 ounces of weight. But your balance, right, just what I was talking about with that, with the blade weighted out here, what's assisting probably a little bit with the controlled action is also making the knife very balanced. So despite the fact that it does not have, you know, a lot of people don't even care about this, the ounce to inch, you know, weight to blade ratio, the balance is incredible. So it actually feels really, really nice. Let's do a hardware check. There's the fatty driver. That thing's been gone for like 2 or 3 uploads. It's right in front of my face. Get out my tools. My tools are very inexpensive, very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools I use on this channel. This has the quintessential, you know, perfect, you know, meeting the bar for total number of fasteners and the size. It's T8 across the board, 2 on this side, 1 on this side, and then we also have T8 for the pocket clip, which is just exceptional. It's a nice cherry on top. Very, very easy to take apart and put back together. As long as you have the right tools for the job, you should be good to go. We're going to measure the blade stock thickness, and we're going to get into the meat and potatoes here real quick. Blade stock thickness of this guy, I'm going to guess that's it might be 150. Pretty close, 147. Okay. Love harpoon notches. Absolutely love them. I love the jimping on this. Very functional. That harpoon notch is perfect. This is the perfect index finger thumb position. This combination is so wonderful. On top of that, this is an aggressive hollow grind. Let's we'll just do a little slice of Ruski here with a piece of paper real quick, which doesn't prove anything. Obviously, the density of material and the type of material you're cutting are going to dictate your experience. But as you can see here, it is a very, very controlled slicer. And if you want to just, you know, whoops, there we go. You can literally push the blade into material and it'll slice it. Really nice, and that's going to be an excellent experience as you continue to sharpen this blade. Assuming that Bestech is hitting it from 62 to 63, they probably should go up to 64, but that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that there. It's a good blade. It's a blade shape, you know, that's not too far off the beaten path, but it is doing its own thing. Simple satin finish here, and outside of that, that's it. There's no mark anywhere on this knife except for their logo, which is in the relief cut. I find that to be a classy way to do that. A little bit of a tip. I love the way that they do this wedge up here combined with a harpoon notch. It's a busy enough blade without being too crazy. It's also a blade shape that we see some variation of in a lot of knives. I mean, like, it reminds me a little bit of the Rotten Evo, or maybe a little bit of the Konigarius without being a harpoon notch, right? There's knives that Kunwu makes that, you know, we see this a lot. The, you know, Wharncliffe, drop point, reverse tanto, harpoon, whatever, mixed with hole and slot blade is something that we see a lot. And we see it a lot because it works really well. It's a cool looking blade shape. It's a functional blade shape. And the way that your hand will interact with parts of the blade, very preferable. So not the most unique thing in the world, unique enough, very functional. Simple contoured handle here. Like I said, you can also get it textured. That's probably what I would have done, but this is fine as well. Backspacer, nothing special going on here. No lanyard hole. I don't really care about that. Pocket clip, it very much reminds me of the pocket clip from the Rotten Evo. In fact, I would venture to guess that the gentleman who designed this probably really likes the Rotten Evo. It's not exactly the same thing, but I bet that he likes it. That'd just be my guess. Simple frame lock, steel lock bar insert that doubles as the over travel stop, which is fine. We have a stop pin that is internal but fixed in place. You can see it right there. So one point of can you see it? There it is. You can see it right there. Yeah. I mean, I say it's internal. It's actually just deep underneath the blade, like the shouldering is deep, and then in the closed position, it contacts behind the flipper tab. So anywhere close to the plunge lock, right? No blade play up, down, left, or right. No lock stick, no pivot lash. Smooth and consistent in here. Click into the closed position. And How's our centering? That looks pretty on to me. What do you guys think? That looks pretty darn centered. No detent lash. I don't know if these are available anymore, but I would venture to guess that he plans to do more of them. You'll have to ask him on Instagram. I know that they're working on another model right now. When this model released, they released it at $330, which is pretty high. But number one, they clearly all sold. Number two, this is the Bestech OEM thing. So Bestech's OEM services are notorious for being really expensive. So if Bestech was not demanding such an enormous chunk of the profit, this thing probably could have fallen down into the sub $300 territory, which is where it probably belongs. It's not such a massive, like the percentage over price that it is not so much that it makes me want to freak out or anything. And obviously enough people agree that it's sold out. But it just feels a little bit high. I'm not going to blame that on BMK. I'm going to blame that on Bestech. But overall, it's a very, very good design. It's going to share, my preferences are very similar to a lot of your guys' preferences. So if your preferences are a lot like mine, you'll love this knife. There's also a lot of knives out there floating around that are very, very similar that you would also find very preferential. But anybody who picked this up, I'm going to guess, really enjoys it. I think it's good. I wish it was a little less expensive, but I think that's mostly Bestech's fault. So anyways, very interested to see designs that come out from them in the future, and I hope they bring this back in a few different variations. I think that would be really cool. That's going to be it from me today, guys. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.